Mr. Pop. Mr. Pop. Eat.
Welcome back to the second broadcasting of the CKCB Community Radio Show. As usual, I'm your host, Adi Budawara. It is so nice to be here with you. Right now it's 10 a.m. and do you know what day we are? It's Thursday morning. I hope you have liked our very first radio show. We had a lot of positive feedback. If you know somebody who would like to take part in this, or if you would like to take part in this, that's what it's all about. If you got a business or an upcoming event, if you have a talent you would like to show with the others, just contact us 514-123-CKCB. This being said, let's immediately start with a short interview with a first-year student returning from a delightful experience at Senegal. Greetings, Camille Bélanger.
Hi.
Camille, you just came back from a trip at Senegal, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
You seem very enthusiastic about it. I can see it in your face. Did you like it?
Yes, for sure. I mean, this was a very extreme experience. And you know, like in any extreme thing that you do, there are two possibilities. You can hate it or you can adore it. And for me, that's what happened. I really enjoyed that trip.
Well, do you want to tell us a little more about it?
Basically, we were 12 students and we were all from Rebuff. And we went to Senegal, which is in West Africa, to live with Senegalese for 5 weeks.
So, was it a sort of immigration trip?
Yes, it was actually. The biggest goal of our trip was to learn the lifestyle that people have there and to get used to it. But of course, as Senegal isn't a very rich country, we also did a lot of humanitarian work, such as painting an entire school or creating clothes for the kids there. At the beginning, it was very hard. We had to work all day in fields under the sun. We were in a new country, on another continent, and our toilet was actually a hole. And let's not talk about the bath, because there was no bath. You know, it's a very different world there. And when you are used to a very high level of comfort, which most of us in Brebeuf do, it's very hard to accept that now you will have to sleep on the floor for 5 weeks and you won't take a real shower until you come back. And you'd better forget about the spiders because they are everywhere there. And you have no time to care for spiders. You know, it can sound stupid like this, but an adaptation is always hard. And this one was particularly a huge thing for all of us. Our family was far, and we had absolutely no way to contact them. So yes, 5 weeks in Africa, that's not a small deal.
Obviously not. But will you say that it was worth it?
Yes, of course. Like I said, it was hard in the beginning. But after 5 weeks, you don't even see the spiders anymore. You learn a lot about another culture, but also about yourself and the way that you react when you are confronted to completely different situations. You learn a lot about another culture, but also about yourself and the way that you react when you are confronted to completely different situations. It's very interesting to see what you can do when you are in another country like that, left almost all alone. You get to know who you really are, and the relationship that you build with your colleagues or your hosts are incredibly strong and real. I believe this is probably the best experience of my whole life. And I have to thank Bribe for giving me this opportunity because I came back from that trip as a completely different and better person.
Well, thank you, Camille, for sharing this with us.
You're welcome, it was a pleasure.
And now, advertisement time.
Hello, how are you? That goes for a long time that I haven't seen you.
I'm very good, and you?
Me too, I'm well, but I look for professors to help me in additional course of picking up. I have to increase my level in some lessons.
Do you know tutorial school? It's a deepening school for our shortcomings.
Yeah, but I have already contacted a private teacher I can't cancel it.
Just cancel your appointment with this teacher. Tutorial is much better. It is a specialized school for students from CKCB, and every 3 courses allow you to have 1 free course. It's guaranteed a perfect quality and already recognized by various colleges like our college Brebeuf.
Perfect! It's exactly what I want, but I have one problem. I have a very busy schedule.
It's not annoying. Tutorial School adapts his planning to our schedule. Tutorial is the perfect school for CKCB students like you. Tutorial School
Number 1.
in Canada.
Brebeuf's journal, L'Hebdo, keeps you up to date on what's happening in the school. Different activities takes place this week, especially the information meeting regarding the prix littéraire des collégiens. Other than that, there's a challenge happening right now at Brebeuf called Logo pour Enjeu. It is mainly regarding media space of administration, economy, history, politics, and sociology. That is to say, human science studies. But more competition for natural science will be available in the same term.
And last but not least, Vox Pop. And today's question: should we register to extracurricular activities as Brebeuf students? We have a first caller on the line. Just to remember your number, it's 514-123-CKCB. Let's now hear our first caller tell us about his experience at Brebeuf and about managing a study and balanced life. Hello.
Hello, dear.
Hi, tell us your name.
I'm Julian.
So Julian, tell us, what do you think about it?
I think, as a student, that it is essential for us to keep a balance between study and extracurricular activities. It does not only help keeping a low stress level, but it helps achieving higher scores.
That's very interesting, Julien. I'm going to pair you with a second party who preferred not to give his name. He thinks just the opposite of what you just said. Go ahead.
Well, I'm afraid I can't agree with you. I don't think keeping the balance you're talking about is needed to better perform. I'm even more inclined to say that the more you study, the better your grades are.
I understand what you say when you mean hard work is what is required to perform, and I don't disagree with it. I just say you can study hard, but whilst taking part in other activities.
The problem with what you say is that if you take part in activities, you don't have time to study, so you can't do both. You have to choose one. As a student, there is no time for other things, as you say, than school.
Then, why don't you do an activity at school? Take part in something during lunch break, or maybe after class hours. You would already be at school, it wouldn't be necessary to move. Plus, it would allow you to relax and think of something else than schoolwork.
If I do something during lunch break, I won't have time to eat, and that would be unhealthy. Same goes for after school. We end at 5:30. Time for me to go home. I only have time to eat dinner, do homework, and then get to bed. It seldom happens that I have to work later and that cut off my sleeping.
This is what I try to prove to you since the beginning. It is all about time managing. If you prioritize certain type of work before the other, you would have time to relax doing a certain sport or being in a club. There are certain clubs that you can join and eat while you're there, so I don't see any obstacle in joining a club that takes place at lunch.
Well, in my first CKCB year, I tried to do other activities, but every hour I spent not studying made me feel uncomfortable. I knew I had to study and I wanted to always achieve better and better. It was the thing to do for me.
I see why you did that, but you're too perfectionist. Don't you think this perfectionism is stressful? Don't you think all the pressure you put on yourself is too much?
I guess you're right saying this about perfectionism, but I don't feel stressed with this way of doing things.
You may not see it right away, in the present, but it still has an effect on you. An effect you will feel later in your life. In addition, university wants you to be active outside CEGEP. It wants you to have a life, to be more than the guy studying all day.
I suppose my perfectionism induced me in a life where academic is the only thing that matters. Yes, it is true that if I had managed my time more efficiently, I could certainly have been able to do something outside school.
After all, you keep a balance for you. No one mandate you to do so. But it is a great advantage, especially to keep a good mental health and not to fall in overload.
I guess you have a point there. I may not just be ready to accept it. However, I see the potential of what you propose me, and I recognize it has many advantages. In the end, I can probably affirm that focusing too much on academics may not be as healthy as it seems to be.
Alright guys, thank you for being on the show. I look forward to receive even more calls next week. We have a community event here to tell you about. It is going to be on Sunday, December 22nd from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Brebeuf College. There will be selling of delicious barbecue and pastries. All the profits will go to Lac Simon. Lac Simon helps sending children of the area from disadvantaged backgrounds to camp next summer. Again, it's the 22nd. There's going to be a lot of fun, so put it on your calendar. Alright, that's gonna do it for the second episode of the CKCB Community Radio Show. I want to say thank you to everybody that have taken part so far. This time we have a second grade student playing an acoustic guitar cover of Get Lucky, Daft Punk. George Rock plays amazing covers on guitar. Please subscribe to him. You can buy his songs on iTunes. Thank you guys. Peace.